Oh, hi there, and welcome to a look into the article The World Needs a New Curriculum by Marc Prensky. I am your host, Alex Field. Today, we will explore how the current core curriculum of math, language arts, science, and social studies are no longer meeting the needs of our students. Through this presentation, I will discuss the problem with the current curriculum, attempts at curriculum innovation, reasons for resistance to true reform, and then we'll explore Prensky's suggested alternate curriculum. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's first look at the current core curriculum. Prensky suggests that the current core curriculum of math, language arts, science, and social studies are no longer the skills of the future. The belief that mastering subjects is what education is about is outdated. Prensky also suggests that the current core curriculum is really just a vehicle for more abstract and symbolic thinking. For example, geometry really teaches about logic. History provides lessons about human conflict. Languages is about communication skills. Literature focuses on human nature and expression. And science encourages inquiry and skepticism. But there have been attempts at curriculum innovation. We've seen the addition of 21st century skills to the current curriculum. Skills like collaboration, cooperation, creativity, communication, problem solving, self-direction, social responsibility, technology fluency. And we've added additional areas like entrepreneurship, financial literacy, emotional intelligence, and programming. But the curriculum is already overloaded and jam-packed. There's no room with the current core curriculum. Also, why in an age of personalization should we not have each student acquire 21st century skills through their own particular interests, rather than providing the same subject matter for all? Don't be fooled by the addition of new technology. It is simply a mask for innovation. It only provides a new way to teach old curriculum. The problem with all these so-called curriculum innovation is that they focus on how we teach, but Prensky suggests that we really need to focus on what we teach. Whole change needs to happen, and as a result, we should lose the proxies and be direct with students about what they need to know. So why doesn't this change occur? The world students live in is very different than the one we knew. There is more variability, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Change is faster and occurs at a greater acceleration. Brains are extended and enhanced by our technology that create new capacities. Reading and writing are no longer the foundations. Literacy is expanding to include skills at video and other new communication tools. Students are aware of this, and yet teachers and adults are still resistant to wholesale change. The need for change shouldn't be surprising. The current core curriculum of math, language arts, science, and social study was created by the Committee of 10 in 1892. That's more than 125 years ago. So why do we keep with it? Common reasons are because it's tradition, or others are copying it, so it must be good, and because the influence of norms and expectations. Also, we are still in a crossroad where teachers are the last pre-internet generation, while our current students are the first internet generation. Many of the skills that were hugely important to the pre-internet generations are now less useful in the world. Many of the arguments against curricular change are about culture. Many people fear losing their culture. Subjects are still there, but they are lower down in our priorities for all kids. So what does Prensky suggest? He believes that what really matters is how well students think, act, relate, and accomplish. These are the important skills for all students and at every grade. The curriculum should reflect things that are actually important to the success of every person in the world. Therefore, Prensky suggests a curriculum that's based around effective thinking, effective action, effective relationships, and effective accomplishment. He uses the word effective to simply distinguish from ineffective. Effective thinking includes critical thinking, mathematical thinking, scientific thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, inquiry skills, argument skills, design thinking, systems thinking, judgment, aesthetics, habit of mind, self knowledge of one's passions, strengths, and weaknesses. As a result, students would be able to think effectively about almost any problem or issue in multiple ways. Our young people would also be able to recognize which type of thinking were effective in particular situations, which is something that today's kids are not, for the most part, able to do. But another big part of our education problem today is that most curricula are only about thinking. Other huge domains that are crucial for life and success, particularly action, relationship, and accomplishing, are almost entirely missing. Effective actions include the habit of highly effective people, mindset, resilience, grit, entrepreneurship, innovation, improvisation, breaking barriers, project management. Prensky notes that this is introduced early on in education through books like The Little Engine Who Could, but there is little to no follow-up in later grades. Effective relationships are based on communication and collaboration, whether that's one-on-one, in teams, in a family, in a community, at work, or online. It also focuses on relationship building, empathy, ethics, politics, citizenship, negotiation, and conflict resolution. Relationships, of course, do often come up in school, in classrooms, in projects, and in literature. But the skills to develop relationships are becoming more important, especially when we consider how students' relationships are now both based in the virtual and real world. Effective accomplishment includes doing projects in the real world that are relevant to the students. The work requires more intellectual capacity than physical. Students would work on real, important projects that would become increasingly more complex and would use increasingly powerful networks. The role of the teacher will change with this new curriculum, as we will no longer need teachers to be the distributors of content about math, language arts, science, and social studies. Teachers will begin to focus on nuance and help students to understand and interpret issues in all their human complexity. Teachers will focus on motivating students deeply while respecting their needs and empathizing with them, and focus on encouraging individual passions. And most importantly, teachers will help students learn to teach themselves. The strengths of Prensky's suggested curriculum is that it is a lot more direct. People learn and accomplish far more when they are applying concepts to their own areas of interest and not to general problems manufactured for all. People learn well through accomplishment, and it is both more useful and it is passion-based. What is education? Prensky would suggest that it's time to bring an end to the endless chase for higher grades and better test scores in the narrow domains of math, language arts, science, and social studies. The world's education in general is getting not better, but worse, all because we are teaching the wrong things. Prensky suggests that today learning is only a means to the real goal of education, which is becoming a good, capable, and flexible person who will help make the world a better place. We need new curriculum that will encourage our students to achieve these goals so they can be successful in any field. Thanks for watching. and enjoy the rest of your day.